boy Darius the Great here, back again for another video, and this time I'm here with a little bit of new Rockstars, man. First time been watching some new Rockstars on the channel, and first off, go over to their channel if you haven't already and subscribe to them because they put out these great, theory, Easter egg breakdown videos. Like Eric Voss and the crew, untouched, man. They are like the top of the food chain when it comes to these type of videos, and I wanted to watch this one because I saw the title of it. I was just like, wait a minute. Deleted scene. How Marvel fixed Rhodey before Cap 4 and Armor Wars. And I was just like, deleted scene? What are they talking about? What is this? And it's interesting because everyone knows, just spoilers for Secret Invasion. That shit came out last year this time. Matter of fact, Rhodey was revealed to have been a Skrull since Civil War, right? And I always thought that was a pretty cool idea. I thought you could play with that in Armor Wars, right? It could feed into Armor Wars. Plenty of other people seemed to not like that. They didn't like the idea that Rhodey wasn't there for Endgame when Tony sacrificed himself. They're like, what? Like, that wasn't Rhodey? Nah, man, no. I always thought, hey, that's good drama. That's some good shit you can work with for a character piece, which Armor Wars should be, right? You're like, get into Rhodey's psyche, how that would make him feel. That, dude, I missed out on Tony's death. Tony died while I was kidnapped, man. I always thought that's interesting. But I'm interested to see what this is all about. So we're going to watch this video here by New Rockstars. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, all right? I'm on the road to 600 subscribers, and I can't get there without you, all right? So hit that subscribe button and the notify bell so you know every time I upload a new video or go live. Also, click that like button, man. Looks like a thumbs up, that big old thumbs up. Click that, man. It forces YouTube to make sure that other people can see the video, all right? So without further ado, let's get it.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss. Did Marvel Studios finally fix what was perhaps their greatest mistake since Avengers Endgame?
I don't...
Being Secret Invasion's implication that the Rhodey we have been living with since the airport battle in Captain America Civil War was the Skrull imposter Rava.
I kind of like it, though.
A new deleted scene from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier digital release that just came out that
Whoa.
better establishes when Rhodey was Rhodey and when Rhodey was Scrody. And I don't feel any shame over that nickname. Did you see their chins? This Rhodey retcon doesn't just make us feel better about what Marvel has done with James Rhodes from Avengers Endgame to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
but it's deleted.
It really reassigns the heroism and emotional arc of Rhodey's character throughout all of these titles to a character who could have a role to play in Captain America Brave New World and beyond it in Armor Wars.
Of course.
It's just the release of this one scene. Both of those titles got a lot more interesting, and I'm going to explain why.
All right, let's see it.
In July 2023, the finale of Secret Invasion,
Oh,
among several disappointing and confusing turns, included this odd exchange between Martin Freeman's Everett Ross and Don Cheadle's James Rhodes, as both guys woke up from the Skrull confinement in that Skrull base in the abandoned Russian nuclear power plant after Gravik had been defeated.
Oh.
How long have you been in here?
So the Rhodey we've been following throughout the series.
Yeah, why would he say that?
A Skrull named Rava, who served Gravik and was positioned as an advisor to the U.S. President Ritson, manipulating the president into international political conflict. Rhodey in this scene never says how long.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Him, but the fact that he's
in hospital gown.
Struggles to walk suggests that the switch happened after 2016's Captain America: Civil War.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of people inferred begrudgingly, especially since on the Binge-worthy podcast from the Playlist Podcast Network, Secret Invasion director Ali Salim confirms that he thought the switch happened at Civil War when Rhodey was in the hospital. But Salim did go on to say, quote, "I don't think it's definitive. I think it's
yeah. When would it have happened, though?
Go back and unpack the Rhodey Skrull of it all, revisiting Rhodey moments in the MCU. I think that's more fun than me saying it's been 10 years or 11. It's more fun to go back and revisit it. If he was a Skrull then, it means that he did not attend Tony Stark's funeral, which I guess could be heartbreaking when you watch that scene. Yeah, dude, not just Tony Stark's funeral. This would be saying that Rhodey's moment with...
Oh, okay. Well, that one, yeah, all right. But the funeral part, I always thought, again, beautiful. It'd be some great drama, great heartbreaking drama. But yeah, that moment in Civil War, yeah, you kind of want that, don't you? Shit.
Tony in physical therapy at the end of Civil War, the whole bit with Stan Lee and Tony Stank, and then everything in Infinity War when Rhodey met Darius Ross and was hanging out with Bruce Banner in the compound, and then the battle
of Wakanda. That's what the Skrulls. That's what the Skrull did, man, in Secret Invasion, the comics.
Rhodey's moment with Natasha about Clint's whereabouts, Rhodey suggesting she killed Thanos as a baby, and then listing time travel movies, Rhodey and the time heist back. Candy Peter Quill, Rhodey when Bruce Banner snapped the stones again, and when Thanos attacked the compound.
I thought that I think it makes for some good drama.
And then, guess Rhodey on the dock at Tony Stark's funeral, all of these moments would be a Skrull impersonating him.
Yeah.
Not to say that all those moments amount to the fullest character arc in the MCU, but Rhodey having to go through physical therapy with his leg.
Yeah, him going through. Yeah.
For Don Cheadle to play, and it feels unfair to the actor's performance to later retcon that sincerity as just deceptive alligator tears.
I think that part in particular, that's the part where I'm like, okay, all right. Like, not so much Tony's funeral, but the fact that, yeah, he didn't go through the physical therapy journey. Yeah, that would suck if that was not him.
This is why I think most Marvel fans have decided to let go of Secret Invasion as a contributor of any lasting, meaningful legacy to.
Yeah, Secret Invasion was bad.
Especially when the Marvels opened in November and Nick Fury made no reference
Right.
to what happened in Secret Invasion. This despite Disney Plus's MCU Complete Timeline playlist putting Secret Invasion taking place before the Marvels.
That was like one of the biggest things that I hated about the Marvels was Nick Fury. Like this man was like a broken shell of himself in Secret Invasion. By the time you get to the Marvels, he's just happy-go-lucky, wisecracking Sam Jackson. I'm just like, where's the consistency here, dude? You're gonna act like you didn't just leave Earth where there's a freaking race war going on between Skrulls and humans. Oh God.
This is why we have to come back to Ali Salim saying he thinks the swap happened at Civil War.
Right.
It's clarification that he doesn't think that would be definitive. Like he's admitting that what he says or what he
No one told him is what he's saying.
And that brings us
No one
to
told
this
him.
Newest deleted scene for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier that was removed from its first episode titled New World Order that aired 3 years ago.
New World Order.
Released this week from the series
Live.
physical media release. This scene was taken out of the sequence when Sam and Rhodey were visiting the Captain America exhibit in the Smithsonian in the first episode.
Right.
Come on, you know armor beats wings, Sam.
Right.
They got lasers, all kinds of Tony Stark tech. Yeah, that's it. That's how you do it.
Push.
Exactly.
Is that how you fly?
Exactly.
Speaking of which, look like you're moving around pretty good now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That upgraded procedure. Haven't had to wear the hardware for a minute now.
Oh!
Okay, this moment of
Oh!
in place and this vague
Ah!
reference to an upgraded procedure was clearly meant to establish that the turning point of Rhodey's physical recovery occurred right after Endgame. He was wearing the Stark Tech leg braces at Tony's funeral.
Right.
Now he's not.
Right!
Detail on the upgraded procedure, and had this scene been included in the episode in March 2021, I totally would have released the theory video titled
It's a Skrull!
Mystery Procedure. Wakandan spinal surgery
Oh,
or Skrulls?
yeah.
The fact that Sam even asks kind of feels like he's sizing Rhodey up a little. Like he
Yeah.
knows something is different about Rhodey here. He just can't put his finger on what. The deleted scene goes on.
Hey, look, man. I know I didn't say it before. I know we talked about it, but
Sam, don't. Come on. But I'm gonna be mad at you because you dodged out of the way. To be honest, as bad as you fly, I'm surprised you didn't dip right back in the vision.
God, they should have kept this shit.
Sam might have had about Rhodey's authenticity here. Rhodey settles with a play-by-play recounting of the final part of the airport battle in Civil War. Steve and Bucky took off in the jet. Rhodey and Tony.
They should have kept that in there, man. That's pretty.
After them, Sam provided cover to throw Tony and Rhodey off, but then Rhodey radios to Vision to turn Sanders' thruster jetpack wings into gliders, meaning take him out, so that he falls with style. And the Vision beams up toward them, but Sam dodges it with a
Yep.
barrel roll, and
Yeet!
the beam scalds Rhodey's arm, and damage the reactor.
Ah!
Well, you know the rest.
Boom!
You looking for this? Rhodey would later undergo an MRI while wearing a hospital gown, while Vision stood vigil. And Vision being there for the rest of the film was another reason why a lot of us felt weird that the Skrulls would have been able to get
Oh, I never
Rhodey
even thought about
during
that.
those
I
events.
never thought about that at all,
And that
honestly.
people would know how to mimic the exact nature of his injury, because injuries are not encoded in our DNA, folks.
Hey,
That she would be able to
it's
do
Skrull
that.
shit, man.
These
Skrulls, look.
leg braces that Tony Stark invented that perfectly responded to Rhodey's gradual repairing of spinal tissue. It would just be a lot for a Skrull to have to think about.
I don't know, would it?
Bravo would have to
It's what they do.
talk while walking this
They-
struggled walk.
Like, they did that shit in the comics, right? Like, you know.
Secret Invasion did establish that Skrulls can also take their victims' memories, so
That too.
would explain how Skrulls would know about what Rhodey went through in the airport battle.
Yeah.
That, plus Scott Lang publishing Look Out for the Little Guy, and after sizing down from Giant Man in desperate need of orange slices, Scott definitely would have had a ground view of what had been happening overhead. Also, we know like Peter Parker was recording video. of
Yeah, it's
everything
crazy.
that happened in this battle, and then I'm pretty sure Peter Parker has like a burner YouTube account where he uploads all this footage to and says like, "Isn't Spider-Man cool?" So I'm just saying everything that happened in the airport battle is out there, it would be easy enough for anybody to say, hey, I went through all that. It was actually me. It wasn't someone whose identity I stole. So if the Falcon and the Winter Soldier had included the scene, it would have implied that only after Endgame did the Skrulls get to Rhodey. That everything
Right.
after Tony Stark's funeral was still the
It was still Rhodey. Yeah.
And that would make sense with the studio's overall vision that everything up until Endgame represented the Infinity Saga, and then all the Disney Plus series represented a new era of stories.
The multiverse saga, yeah.
With what Secret Invasion told us about Nick Fury's harvest operation with Gravik and the other Skrulls to search through the rubble of the Battle of Earth, where multiple Avengers had spilled their.
I'd rather not think about the show, honestly.
DNA samples, which Fury later contained hidden in this grave storage site in Finland. And you
I don't want to think about that. Any of that.
When Bruce had re-engineered the quantum tunnel for Steve to take the Infinity Stones back to their points in time. In the background, we saw a helicopter carrying a crate away from the battlefield.
What? Huh? What?
And I always wondered if that was.
I never saw that.
Purpose. It would be around this time when Gravik could have led a side mission to extract and replace James Rhodes.
Yeah?
But they came up with this cover story that Rhodey had just undergone an upgraded procedure, and it's because Rava probably knew that she'd never be able to mimic Rhodey's exact nerve injury well enough to correspond to the exact calibrations of Tony Stark's leg.
I'm just like.
Rhodey's hospital gown in Secret Invasion could have been explained from the Skrulls luring a post-Endgame Rhodey into this kind of ruse where he thought he was going through a medical procedure with a spinal surgeon. In fact,
Gotcha.
they posed as Dr. Nicodemus West and Dr. Christine Palmer, because after Dr. Stephen Strange, they are two of the best spinal surgeons in New York.
Ah, that's right.
Second, Rhodey's like, uh-oh, you're Skrulls. I think
Like,
Marvel
oh,
Studios
shit.
chose to release this scene with
Because
the
of what-
Soldier physical media release because they know how confused Secret Invasion
Because people were
is.
not
Even
happy
if
with
it's
it.
a deleted scene, and we don't consider deleted scenes canon. This scene nonetheless establishes the studio's intent on when they consider the Skrull switch to have happened with Rhodey.
Right.
That answer is after Endgame, before the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Gotcha.
Which would mean that the Rhodey scenes in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which Don
All
Cheadle
Skrull.
hilariously got an Emmy nomination for. Let's not forget that was the
He did?
Skrull imposter.
He was in there for, like-
I'm more okay with that than I am with Rhodey in Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame being a Skrull. And now that we know Rhodey was Rhodey in Infinity War, him refusing an order by Thaddeus Ross to arrest Sam Wilson, Natasha Romanoff, Steve Rogers, and Bucky Barnes, and then hanging up on that call would certainly be driving a wedge between Rhodey and Ross, who is now American President, played by Harrison
And
Ford.
Harrison Ford with no mustache.
While Rhodey's Skrull imposter Bravo was close to President Ross's predecessor, Ritson, the real Rhodey is likely to be completely kept away from this new president's government.
Yep.
He is now a very vulnerable target to a very.
They're gonna take away his
All
armor.
This would shift Rhodey from a government man who often served as liaison between the Avengers and the Pentagon to a retired Avenger who's out of the loop and might tragically always be dependent on medical technology.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because he probably didn't go for that.
It might be about healthcare and basic dignity. Like we've often seen conflicts between two different versions.
He
of
doesn't
Iron
have
Man
his-
and weaponized
he's still gonna
suits.
need
That's
his
pretty much the final battle of
leg
every
braces.
Iron Man film. I think this story of Armor Wars needs to be a debate over whether Stark tech could be expanded as weapons of war, or rather if it should be distributed as humanitarian.
And bring back Justin Hammer.
Sick and vulnerable and infirm
You
to
get Sam Rockwell in here.
like, imagine instead of an Iron Man suit, the armored shell that is the focus of this movie is like a wearable, portable healing suit that allows people just to go get groceries or drive a car or play with their grandkids. Or one that could be like hijacked by Zola and so you can have a body again. Either way, this product could be debated as like a possible consumer product that you could profit from, or just something every citizen of planet Earth should have a right to. Or we could say just Americans or just NATO countries
Oh.
who would have
Chop,
access
chop,
to
chop,
this
chop,
idea
chop,
of technological spending and research being devoted to weaponry or to healthcare is something that I appreciated from the introduction of Tony Stark's half-brother Arno Stark, who spent
God dog it, man! I've always wanted Arno in the MCU. I've always wanted Arno. Man, if you don't know who Arno Stark is, go look up Arno Stark from the comics. Like I feel like they're probably. I feel like at this point in the MCU it'd probably be too much to be like, oh yeah, Tony had this secret brother Arno. Like it's way past that point of doing that, right? I always thought they should have brought him in after Endgame. You know, like immediately after Endgame, because this dude is cool. He's probably about to go into this right now, but like I just gotta like talk about it because like I think he's about to go into it.
a son of Howard Stark could have led. I just like this idea of Armor Wars being Rhodey having to deal with the Stark family legacy, whether it's Arno Stark or Pepper Potts or Morgan Stark.
It should be Arno. It'd be crazy if it was Arno.
Of Stark Industries should be. And I'm ultimately curious to see how Wakanda enters that debate, because I'll bring it up again. If the Wakandans could repair Everett Ross's spine, do magic neural surgery to extract the Mind Stone from Vision's forehead, and still they have not yet offered to heal Rhodey, what the hell, guys?
Oh God! Oh God!
And they thought that was disrespectful, and they were like, get this clown off the organ donor list. Either way, thank God that final.
Exactly what. Hey! What did Killmonger say about them not helping black people outside of Wakanda? This nigga Rhodey right here. It's like, help me! I am handicapped, man. Come on now.
Knowing that the version of Rhodey in these stories won't have to explain why 50% of his MCU appearances were the actions of a Skrull, and we could just move on. Comment down below with your thoughts on all this. And real quick before we get out of here, Nerd Riot has a special line of Star Wars shirts coming out for May the 4th. We have
Cool.
a ton of awesome custom designs showing off Imperial helmets, Padme, an Ewok snapping hat, and so much more.
It's a trap.
Click the link in the description below or head to nerdriot.shop right now to get your May the 4th Star Wars merch today. Follow me at EA Voss. Subscribe to all 3 channels in the New Rockstars Network.
Do all that.
News coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Some good theory stuff there. What I was going into about the whole Arno Stark thing is that, like, in the comics, especially like the most recent run of, like, I don't know, like they brought him back. I think they brought him back in 2020. Like it was because in the comics, in like an alternate universe, Arno Stark is Iron Man 2020. So I think in 2020 they brought him back because he hadn't been in the comics for a while. He was a good guy, but when they brought him back, he's more of a villain. He's kind of like this, like, real, like, evil Tony Stark. But, like, his whole thing was that he was so obsessed with, like, using his technology and his genius to fix, like, any human possible ailment, right? Like, he had worked on himself so that, like, he'd use, like, nanobots or something, or he used Extremis on himself so that, like, he doesn't even need to sleep anymore. Like, he can just always be working, you know? He can control his nervous system and stuff like that. And, like, I remember in one issue of the comics, like, he was giving this dude, like, it was a guy, what's the term for it? An amputee, right? Like, dude lost his arm, or lost his hand. And instead of, like, giving him just, like, a regular, you know, like a prosthetic, like they do now, created, like a human flesh prosthetic from, like, the DNA cells of, like, some dead person, right? Or something like that. And when he did the surgery, everything was fine at first. But then eventually, guess what? That hand started moving. It started going crazy on its own. And it's just like, it was the consequences of trying to fix everything. Of trying to be as perfect as possible through the use of your, like, magical science. But, like, sometimes you gotta chill with that, all right? And I think that's something that they should absolutely touch on in the MCU, something they should touch on in Armor Wars. That'd be great with them trying to use Stark tech for just, like, mundane things, try to use it for everything, you know. I think that'd be cool. And as far as the whole thing about when Rhodey got taken, I think, again, I always liked the idea that he missed Tony's death and his funeral, but when you take into account, his physical therapy journey and all that stuff, you're going to need that to actually have been the actual Rhodey. So it's probably for the best that after Endgame, they snatched him up, and then, you know, you can move on from there. Like, you'll still get the consequences of Rhodey having been gone and swapped out and been the right-hand man, basically, to the president, and all that going to hell. So now you get to Armor Wars, they're going to be like, well, look, buddy, Rhodey, you helped, like, your Skrull replacement was about to start, like, World War III, whatever the hell. We don't trust you. We don't trust Stark Tech. They already don't trust Stark Tech because Damage Control took a bunch of Stark Tech from during No Way Home because of the Mysterio thing with him framing Spider-Man. So, like, they already don't trust Stark Tech. They're going to be like, yeah, we're taking your suit. We're going to make our own, you know, government agents and stuff with these suits. Justin Hammer, come on down. I hope Justin Hammer comes back, man. Oh, man, I love it. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the whole idea of, like, you know, the Secret Invasion, you know, them kind of retconning that or whatever the hell. Drop your thoughts on Secret Invasion as well, all right? I thought it was ass. Started off really good. Could have been the best Marvel Disney Plus show of all time, but they fumbled immediately. Like, second, third episode in. Trash. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.